Hello, welcome to this tutorial. This is Digital Trade, and in this video we'll be taking a look at some of Excel advanced math and statistical functions such as the COUNTIFs, the SUMIFs, the average and the AVERAGEIFS. And we'll be taking this employee data to answer and to have a practical knowledge of what this function does in Excel. And then in the data we have this header, the staff ID, name up to monthly salary in US dollars. Now let's look at the functions one after the other. Now we have the COUNTIF, which you can use when you want to count the number of cells that met a specific criteria. For example, look at this question that says how many employees are in building 1. How many employees are in building 1? Now if we take a look at our data, we have these headers, and then we have this column F, that contains location. And in the location, if you apply your filter, you see that we have building 1, building 2, building 3, and building 4. So if I decided to filter now, and I select building 1, and I click on OK, and I decide to highlight from top to bottom my building 1, you see that I have the count is 25. So which means using my filter, the number of employees in building 1 is actually 25. But that is not what we want to do. We want to actually use our formula to return these answers, and that's what we'll be doing. So let me clear the filter and let's go back to our original question. So let's find out the number of employees in building 1. So what do? We say equals to COUNTIF. You type COUNTIF and you press your tab key and you have it like this. Now Excel say range. What is the range? We are looking at the location column. So this is location and this is our range. I'll just pick it from the header. In your case, you may decide to leave the header or you can have the header. It doesn't matter. You still get the correct answer. So I'll highlight everything from top to bottom, and then I will specify my criteria. What is my criteria? My criteria is actually building 1. So I will have it in quotation and say building 1, and then I will close my bracket and I'll press enter, and then you see that we have 25. Now when we apply filter, we got 25, and applying our COUNTIF formula, we also got 25. Now let me tell you this, that instead of when you put your cursor in your formula, you actually see the cell that your formula is referencing when you put your cursor there. But instead of you typing building 1, you can decide to remove building 1 and reference the cell that contains building 1. For example, this is our location, and we have this is building 1, this is another cell that says building 1, this is another, and so on and so forth like that. So instead of you typing building 1, you can just click on any cell in that range that contains building 1 and press your enter, and you still have the same thing. So instead of you typing building 1, it still gives us 25. You can decide to reference the cell, and you can see this time around F4, and we still have the same answer. Now let's look at SUMIF. Now it is used when you want to add values. You want to add up values in a range if specific conditions are met. That is when you use your SUMIF. You want to add certain values in a range if certain conditions are met. Now let's look at this question. It says use the SUMIF to find the sum of the monthly salary of all employees in building 1. Now we want to find the monthly salary of all employees, the sum of the monthly salary of all employees in building 1. Now just press equals to and say SUMIF, and then it says the range. Now our range is the location column. Our range is the location column, which is F. So we just referencing from top to bottom, and then we say comma, and then it says the criteria. Now our criteria, if you look at it, is building 1. Now I told you earlier that instead of you typing, open a quotation and typing building 1, you can decide to reference the cell, any cell that contain building 1. So in this case, I'll just click here. I have building 1 there, and I will say comma, and then say say the sum range. Now, what is our sum range? Our sum range is this column that contains the salary. So we just pick it from the header, and then we highlight everything, and then we press enter. And then when you look at it, you have your answer. So this is the sum of the salary of all the employees in building 1. If you want to confirm, you can apply filter. So go to location, want to confirm your answer, go to location. Oh, it's not working. Don't know. Okay. Go to location, untick or pick building 1, click OK, and then highlight all this monthly salary column, sum it together. And then if you look at your status bar, you see that we have $156,509 US, and that's the same answer that we have. So let me just clear the filter. So we got the same answer, just a confirmation. Now the average if is that you want to find the arithmetic mean of all values in a range that met a given criteria. So let's look at this. It says calculate the average salary of employees in building 2. Calculate the average salary of employee in building 2. So how do we go about it? Say equals to average ifs, this is average if, and then it says the range. So what is our range? Our range is the location column, because that is where we can find building 2. That is where we can find building 2. So just press our comma and say the criteria. The criteria is building 2. Like I said earlier, you can reference any cell here that contains building 2. So I'll just pick any one, building 2, and I'll have my comma, and it says the average range. Now our average range is the salary column that we want to find the average. So I'll just pick everything top to bottom, and I'll press my enter. And if you look at our answer, this is our average salary of all employees in building 2. If you want to confirm, I urge you to apply your filter, and then you confirm your answer. Now the COUNTIFS. Now the one we did up here is only one criteria. Now the COUNTIFS, as the name stands, is count the number of cells that met a single or multiple conditions, multiple criteria. That is what the COUNTIF does. Now looking at this question, it says count the number of employees in building 4 department any below $150 an hour. So we want to count the number of employees in building 4 earning below this rate an hour. So what do? We go to equals to and say COUNTIFS, press your tab key, and it say criteria range. What is our criteria range? Our criteria range is our location. That is the first one. Highlight everything, and then say comma, and I say criteria 1. What is our criteria 1? We are looking at building 4. Like I said, you can pick any cell that contain building 4, anyone, or you can decide to type building 4. So I'll just pick anyone. So it is building 4, and I'll press my comma, and I say criteria range 2. So what is our criteria range 2? That is the column containing the pay rate that we want to find. We want to count those that are earning below 150. So we reference this column, and then have a comma, and then say what is the criteria. Those that are earning, if you look at our question, is those that are earning below $150. So you open your double quotation and you say less than 150, and then you close your quotation, you close your bracket, and then you press enter. So in that department, in building 4, there are 7 employees that are earning below $150 an hour. And then the SUMIF is used when you want to add values in a range if multiple specified criteria are met. You specify your criteria. If those criteria are met, you find your SUMIF. So how do we go about that? Now this question says use SUMIF to find the sum of the pay rate of all employees in building 1 and with rate greater than $200. So we want to find the sum of all employees in building 1 earning greater than $200 an hour. So we say equals to SUMIFS, and then it says sum range. So what is our sum range? Our sum range, let's go to our data. Our sum range is the pay rate, and then comma, then say criteria range. The criteria range is the location column, because that is where we will find those people. So we reference the column and press our comma, and I say criteria 1. And what is our criteria 1? We are looking at those people in building 1. So just click on any cell containing building 1 and press your comma, and then it says criteria range 2. So what is our criteria range 2? We are looking at the pay rate column, and this is the pay rate column. So we click on it, reference it down, and then press our comma, and exactly say criteria 2. And what is our criteria 2? We want to look at those that are earning rate greater than $200. So what do? You open your double quotation and say greater than 200, and then you close the quotation, you close the bracket, and you press enter. So this is the sum of the pay rate of all employees in building 1 and with rate greater than $200. You can apply your filter to confirm. And then average if is that you want to find the arithmetic mean of the cell in the range when you specify your criteria. So look at this question. Calculate the average salary of employee in the sales department earning above $6,000. We want to look at the average salary of all employees in sales department earning above $6,000. So what do? Say equals to average ifs. This is average if, and then it says average range. So what is our average range? Start with our salary, because that is where we find the salary of those people, and then we press our comma, and then the next one is the criteria range. What is the criteria range? We go to department, because that is where we find sales department. We reference the department down, and then we press our comma, and then what are we looking for in that department? We are looking for sales. So click on any cell containing sales, and then you press your comma, and then what are we looking for? The criteria range 2 is the salary column. We reference it again, and then we press our comma, and then we now say greater than 6,000. We are looking for those one greater than 6,000. So you open your double quotation and you say $6,000, and then you close it, you close your bracket, and you press enter, and then you have it's returning error. So let's try and fix the error. Okay, here if you look at the formula, we don't have the greater than there, so we just put it, and then we have our answer. So this is the average salary of all employees in sales department earning above $6,000 US. So I urge you to practice some of these functions and get familiar with them. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.